first Monday of Lent, the first full week of Lent, and we have this reading from the Gospel of St. Matthew. Jesus is in the position of the king who separates the sheep from the goats, and it's the righteous and those who are not righteous. And as we begin this season of Lent, the first 3 weeks of our readings, 3.5 weeks almost, it points out how many times we miss the mark in our discipleship. You know, it's going to be one reading after another, and it is for us to take a long, loving look at our lives and the quality of our discipleship, we as followers of Christ. And it will point out that many times we do not live up to the commitment that we make in baptism. And then after about 3.5 weeks, we're going to turn from Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and we're going to go into the Gospel of St. John. And Jesus is the answer to sin, God's remedy. So as I was reading this Matthew 25, you know, I hope that our Lent is not only looking at where we don't measure up, but challenging us in a very strong way to find the presence of Christ today. This reading is one of the best examples of how we can find Jesus in our world today. And sometimes he comes in a very troubling appearance, as St. Teresa of Calcutta would say. Finding Christ in the poor is in his most troubling of all disguises that he uses, but he comes to us in so many ways. In Lent, we'll take a look within ourselves, you know, to where we measure up and where we don't measure up in our discipleship. And Jesus is going to be the answer. But our striving to know him and to love him in the way that he presents himself in our world, I think is what this journey of faith is all about. He can be found. And when he is found, sometimes he's hungry, sometimes he's thirsty, sometimes he's naked, sometimes he's a stranger, sometimes he's ill, sometimes he's in prison. And when we go outside of ourselves, we encounter him who offers life and love and pardon for all of us.